welcome back. We're talking back to school tech, and for me that was Encarta on CD-ROM back in the day. Remember that? CD-ROM blew our minds in the early 90s.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh!
There's the age gap.
All right.
First year university for me was like floppy disks. There was Netscape going on, and email was this completely new innovation.
Can't forget Oregon Trail as well.
Oregon Trail?
Yeah, did you ever play that game?
No.
Well, you had to fire up the DOS and get it going.
Oh.
Everybody's like, whoop!
Okay, well, technology's come a long way in the classroom. We went to UBC last week to get a look at how students have a completely different learning experience. Have a look at this. What is the most important aspect for appropriate technology being successful? Okay, I'm going to guess on this one. Let's go A. I like simplicity. And boom, you can see the results right here on screen. We're here at UBC. Clickers now a part of the two-way student experience. Professor Marina, how is technology really changing the way students are learning?
That's an excellent question. I think one big answer is that it allows people to be very engaged, but it also makes them be responsible for their learning. I just noticed that you clicked in A here. Yeah. I'm not sure you've read all other choices, and that's what a lot of our students are doing. They just click in an A because they have the button. I think
it was always C back in the day. I just tried to change it up with A. Still get busted.
You became an A instead of a C.
I mean, this is a state-of-the-art classroom. You have a microphone here. There are cameras at the front that follow our dialogue if we choose to speak. But how have things really changed from the traditional textbook to make this an engaging learning experience?
I think it allows students to collaborate. It allows students to ask questions of a professor. You can do it face-to-face during the class, because even in a large class, I can click the button, everybody will hear my answers, my face will appear on the screen, so I feel very personal. Exactly. But it also allows you to learn outside of the class. You can collaborate on Piazza or other services. You can do practice of problems online. You don't need to have a professor. You can get immediate feedback. But I would say in one line, it puts more responsibility on you, because you have those tools, but you have to want to use them.
We're still on camera here, and I know Professor Peter down at the front is watching, so let's take a look. Thank you, Professor Marina, of how things have really changed. A lot of tools in the front. I mean, gone are the days of microfiche. I know I'm dating myself with that one, but Professor Peter, thanks for being here. How visually is the component of learning really different now?
Visually, there's a lot of interactive tools that a professor can use. Certainly, we've got doc cam up at the front. We can project anything on paper, multiple screens, tablet computers. We can write on the screen, do whatever we want from that perspective. Cameras to the classroom.
It's almost a small fish in a big pond as you're trying to make your mark when you're coming to a new school, especially one where you have a classroom this big. But what do you say to students that aren't getting the results, top of the class like they used to, and adjusting to a new reality?
Well, I think that's really it. It's adjusting to the new perspective. They are with very bright students, so the top 10% or so from their high school classes are all in the same room, sometimes 500 people or more in one room. And so it's a change in perspective. I think it's important to recognize they're here for themselves. They're here for their learning. It's not a competition against other people that are in the room.
Final question. What's the best way to get on the professor's good side when there's so many students in the class? What can the student do?
The best way to get on the good side is introduce themselves. Professors are people too. We like to interact with students. That's why we're here. Come to office hours. Come approach us at the end of class. Tell us a little bit about themselves.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Well, enjoy the experience and play with all these cool toys. All right, well, Professor Peter, thanks so much. I'm going to go look for some microfiche now.
Excellent. Thank you.
It'll be a tough search.
Professor Peter, he remembers the microfiche. not the kids.
I used to be in the SFU library using that microfiche back in the day, but that was 2 decades ago, so a lot has definitely changed. Big thanks to the professors at UBC. We're also asking for these back-to-school photos this morning. I know the routines are getting set, so we have some of our own.